Okay, so the Avs are still surviving off of individual efforts, but they're taking baby steps in the right direction. And if you manage to win when you're still moving in the right direction, you're chillin'. Avs win over the Minnesota Wild 4-1.
Alex Newhook!
Oh boy.
Whoa!
In this case, the main individual effort I'm talking about is Gabe Landeskog, a 4-point night involved in every single Avalanche goal. That is very good. Blandy may remain one of the most underrated players currently on the Avalanche. He's still a perfectly capable top-line player and doesn't get the credit for the production that he produces every single season. Obviously, a 4-point night here pretty much single-handedly took care of business. The game on the whole was not very clean, I'll put it that way. Do not think the Avs played particularly well, but they rounded out their play on the defensive side quite a bit. Even if the puck movement was still sloppy, there's another team on the ice, and Minnesota was just as sloppy as the Avs were in this game. All you have to do is beat the team you're playing. You don't have to beat your best. And the thing the Avs have going for them is, even when they are playing sloppy, all it takes is one play to click. They're such a talented team that one play of decent passing can turn into a goal, and that's what gets the Avs on the board first about 13 minutes in. A perfectly executed play from the Avs from top to bottom. Landy collects a puck in the neutral zone, goes back to Makar to reset the Avs breakout, and as they're coming back, see that? Run it back really quick. Byram is already setting up this play. He's pointing to where he's headed, so Makar has an idea of where this play is going to go. He goes over to the open spot in the neutral zone, collects the puck, and the Avs are just working it from here. Byram, extremely patient. He's always confident with the puck. The Minnesota man is going to come in from off screen here, all the way past the red line. Byram completely takes him out of this play by chipping this up the boards around him after sucking him in that deep. McKinnon waiting for it at the blue line, and the Avs has essentially created a 2-on-2 here as Burakovsky has snuck in beside the high man. McKinnon's able to get the puck over to him, and you see a bit of an overcommit from the Wild. They kind of forget about Landy. They're caught a little bit flat-footed, so it becomes a 2-on-1 as Landy screams in towards the back post. Burakovsky recognizes it, makes a nice pass across, and it's finished up. That one is just pretty top to bottom. You love to see stuff like that. Some other notes, both teams did hit posts in this hockey game, so there those are. Avs almost already up to 10 posts, still hanging around over 1 post per game. Yeah, hopefully those stop being a little bit less regular. The Avs controlled the first period. They outshot Minnesota 15-8, completely in the driver's seat. But in the second period, things kind of flipped on their heads, with Minnesota outshooting the Avalanche 15-8. But again, the Avs defense in this game, while not perfect, was a lot more well-rounded. A lot of Minnesota's opportunities were limited to the perimeter. The dangerous ones were few and far between, and on some of those dangerous chances, Darcy Kemper looked solid. The only thing that came up short for the Avs in this game was their penalty kill, as they take some penalties in the second period, kill one of them. Second penalty, pretty soft in my opinion, but just don't give the opportunity to another team to do anything like that. It costs the Avs as they give up the goal. Minnesota on the power play, they're moving the puck pretty effectively, but nothing particularly dangerous happens through the first 20 seconds. And then they work the puck down low, and the reality is this pass to the center just cannot get through. The entire design of the power play is to prevent that pass from happening, and somehow, despite both sticks in the lane, it finds a way through the Avs, and they get beat. I'm not going to blame the Avs too much on this one. Like I said, it was a soft call, and beyond that, they only gave up a single goal on the power play in this game. If you give up 1 goal per game, you're going to win pretty much every single time. If you don't win, well, that's not your defense and goaltender's fault now, is it? And this is where we start to see one of the big positives in this game for the Avs. They were relentless, both physically and with their energy. We're always on top of Minnesota, responding to everything they did. And this goal is no different. It takes less than a minute for the Avs to get their lead back. Yes, I know I pointed out Landy as the big star of this game, but sometimes you just get out of Nathan MacKinnon's way. Don't have a ton to say about this play. Simply when Nathan MacKinnon decides he wants the puck and no one else can have it, he pretty much just does that manhandles a number of guys, holds onto the puck, finds EJ coming in after sucking 3 players extremely deep in the zone. EJ walks in with the space he has and just finishes the play. Can we talk about the versatility of the Avs defenders a little bit? You have Makar, Girard, Johnson, and Byram as the top 4 right now, all of which can be threats on the offensive side of the puck, but all of which are solid on the defensive end as well. 4 proper two-way defensemen, and once Devon Taves is healthy, that adds a 5th. This defense is really something special. Genuinely enjoy watching this defense for the Avalanche because it may be, and I know I'm saying a lot here, they've had multiple Hall of Famers on the same defense in their history. This one may be as good or better than that. Avs go into the third period with a 1-goal lead, and you can see this year's team is still trying to figure out how to play with a close lead. They haven't quite settled into what exactly they're supposed to be doing and functioning, trying to maintain that in the third period. That being said, they got a little bit of help from a stupid play from Minnesota. Brandon Duhaime takes an obvious, dangerous boarding penalty. Byram is winning a race to a puck. He's going to play it with his numbers pointing towards Duhaime. Duhaime cross-checks him about 3 feet away from the boards and just launches him into the boards. Thankfully, Byram ended up being okay, but that's the exact type of hit we've already seen called multiple times against the Avs this year, and other teams as well, to be fair. He ends up getting the 5-minute major. Things got a little squirrely because McKinnon decided to fight him to stand up for Byram. Love the energy, but Nathan McKinnon for Brandon Duhaime sitting for 5 minutes. Probably not worth it. Lucky for the Avs, the refs agreed. Despite Nathan McKinnon throwing his gloves off, they called it roughing. So, the Avs get a 5-minute power play, and McKinnon only has to sit for 2 of it. Funnily enough, the power play didn't need McKinnon to score a critical goal. Start of the 5-minute power play, the zone entry comes from JT Compher. It's nicely done as he finds Landeskog with space. This wasn't necessarily a set play. He found the man that was most open and made it work. Landy's able to get into the zone, get set up, pull a man to him. Leaves a ton of space for Nazem Kadri at the front. Meanwhile, the Avs have sent multiple players toward the front of the net. Tyson Jost, the man doing the dirty work, directly in front. The one-timer comes across. Kadri just lets one fly, and that is a beautiful power play goal. That right there is how you win hockey games. 1, it's a special teams goal. 2, look at the score line for this. Yes, Gabe Landeskog is involved from the top unit, but that's Nazem Kadri scoring the goal and JT Compher getting the secondary assist. That is the depth scoring that puts teams over the top when it comes to winning hockey games. Yeah, you expect a lot out of McKinnon, out of Landeskog, out of those guys, but when you get secondary pieces scoring in a consistent way, you win a lot of games. The rest of the third was pretty tepid. The Avs did not control the puck a ton, but they limited shots and actually ended up outshooting Minnesota 8-7 in the period. That is what you want a period to look like when you have a 2-goal lead. Not a ton of negatives tonight. Yes, it was sloppy, but the Avs played quality hockey. Guess the one thing you can say is Andrei Burakovsky went down in the second period of this game, did not finish it. He's listed as day-to-day. That could hurt. Hopefully he's back soon, but the Avs really cannot afford for injuries to continue stacking up on them. They're already stretching the limits of their depth, playing Jacob McDonald at forward and other reasonable things, getting players 5-6 minutes a night. It's already putting a lot of pressure on the top guys. Don't know how much more you can push that. Landeskog, the man rewarded with the empty net goal at the end for your 4-1 final. With the early third period goal, this one ended up being pretty routine for Colorado, and they could definitely use a little bit of that as they're back to 500 and 8 games into the season. Take a breath, chillin'. Everything is relatively on track. Nothing to worry about. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and I hope you all got a ton of candy.